Today, we're going to deconstruct the first 12 hours of one of the most baffling cold cases out there, the disappearance of Asha Degree. But here's the thing, we're not just looking for a suspect. Instead, we're going to put every single decision under the microscope, every choice made by every person involved, from the second she walked out her door until the trail just went cold. And that's really the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? It just doesn't make any sense. To even start to get our heads around what could have possibly happened, we have to go back. We have to walk through that night, step by agonizing step.
All right, so let's set the scene. Before everything went wrong, it was by all accounts a completely normal evening for the Degree family. And in a case like this, you have to understand the before to even begin to process the after.
I mean, look at this. It's the picture of routine, of safety. You've got a family coming home from a kid's basketball game. Bedtime. A dad checking on his kids when the power goes out. There is absolutely nothing here that even hints at the turn things were about to take.
And boom, this is the moment. This is where the story pivots from a normal family night to a national mystery. One single, totally inexplicable action that kicks off this whole chain of events we're about to dig into.
So our deep dive really has to start right there, inside the house, with the clues that Asha herself left behind for us.
You know, the first real puzzle is her book bag, the stuff she decided to pack. It feels like she was getting ready for something. But what? Was she running away? Or was this some kind of kid adventure that went horribly, horribly wrong? So check this out. It's such a strange collection of things. You've got totally normal kid stuff, right? A band t-shirt, candy wrappers. But then you've got really practical items, like a whole change of clothes, and then something so sentimental, a family picture. It's like a weird mix of a child's logic and what almost feels like a deliberate plan. And that just makes it all the more confusing. Okay, so from the eerie quiet of the house, the story spills out onto this dark, rain-soaked highway. And this is where people actually saw her.
Now this is a critical 30-minute window. Think about that. Not one, but two different drivers see her out there. This wasn't just a fleeting glimpse. She was out there, this little girl, on a highway in a storm for a significant amount of time. This was the window where just one different decision could have changed everything.
And here it is. This is the pivotal moment. One of the drivers was concerned enough, saw something was wrong, and actually turned his car around to go back and help. But Asha, for whatever reason, she made a different choice. Instead of going towards him, she ran away, disappearing into the dark woods.
So you have to ask yourself, and we're not judging here, what would you do? Try to put yourself in that situation. It's late, it's pouring rain, and you see a kid walking alone on the highway. Do you call the police? Do you get out of your car? These are split-second decisions with no easy answers, but man, they had massive consequences. So with Asha having vanished into the woods, the focus shifts again. Now it's about the moment her family wakes up, that first frantic call is made, and the official search kicks off. So just 2.5 hours after she was last seen on that highway, her mom goes into her room to wake her up and finds an empty bed. Can you even imagine that feeling? The 911 call was made immediately, and the race against time officially began. So the response follows the book, right? Standard procedure for a missing person. But let's be real, this was anything but a standard case. You already have eyewitnesses placing her on a highway hours before. You have to wonder, was this standard protocol really enough for a situation this bizarre? In any investigation, those first few assumptions are just everything. They shape the entire direction of the search. And it seems like the early assumption here might have been that she was just a typical runaway. And that one idea could have kept the search focused close to home, when in reality, Asha might have already been miles and miles away. So that initial search, it found nothing. And as those first critical hours bled into days, the trail just got colder and colder, leaving behind this awful quiet and a whole legacy of unanswered questions. Now get this, 1.5 years after she disappeared, her book bag turns up. You'd think, okay, this is it, a breakthrough. But no, it just made things weirder. The bag was found double wrapped in plastic, buried 26 miles from her house. How on earth did it get there? Who put it there?
It was this final, frustrating clue that answered absolutely nothing.
At the end of the day, we don't have a single theory about what happened to Asha Degree. What we do have is this tragic chain reaction, a series of small, individual, and maybe even understandable decisions made by Asha, by the drivers, by the first responders. But all together, they created this heartbreaking, unsolved mystery. And it really just leaves you with this one haunting question. Was there a single moment, just one different choice by one person that could have changed everything?